All right, team, we're back with the Ask Matty show here. We have a lot of great questions, and we are back from sabbatical here. We were gone for unknown reasons, but we are back answering your questions today. Matt, we got a lot of good ones today, discussing Hbar, Casper. We went on a crazy Casper run with these last couple shows on After Hours and the Ask Matty show, tackling all those news events that were happening left and right. Really excited to be back here. Also discussing maybe Bitcoin. We'll discuss a little bit about Bitcoin. I don't know why we talk about Bitcoin. If there's any relevant news to that, we'll discuss it. And maybe some conversations about some old coins. So we're going to get all in that today, team. But I want to throw up some for Matty here, because Matty, we have talked a lot this year about politics, okay? It's been no secret. Me and you have been skeptical, maybe for different reasons, but I have personally been skeptical of Donald J. Trump. You know, he was really aggressive at the start of this year. He didn't attend the primaries. He didn't debate with everyone else and took over. And ever since the primaries, he has toned down his rhetoric and became less aggressive. And for that reason, I was like, oh, he will just tone down his stance on crypto. You know, if you look at who he was surrounding himself with, you had his sons that were Bitcoin holders. You had Vivek, anti-CBDC. You had RFK, who was pro-Bitcoin. So you have all these people that he was surrounding himself with, or supposed to be surrounding himself with in the future, that were pro-Bitcoin. And so he came out early on and saying, oh, pro-Bitcoin, and kind of rallied the crypto community here. And since the summer months, he has toned down his rhetoric on other issues, but funny enough, toned up his rhetoric on Bitcoin and crypto and self-custody. I mean, if you look at the 2024 GOP platform, the Make America Great Again platform, that's the whole title of it. So it's no longer President Donald Trump and the GOP. They are now intertwined together in their platform, talking about self-custody, talking about crypto innovation, AI, and this was a stance that the Democratic Party was not taking. The DNC didn't even mention crypto. So, Matty, naturally, everyone rallied behind Trump as it relates to crypto here, all right? Now, he got elected last November 5th, last week, and the equity markets ran. You saw the NASDAQ, you saw the Dow Jones, you saw the S&P. Bitcoin followed. I think you saw 59% Bitcoin dominance. And I think it's at 60% now, still relatively. No, it was at 55. Now it's at 60% Bitcoin dominance. So crazy spike high in Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin is running new BTC all-time high here, almost encroaching at $90,000 per Bitcoin. And Matty, we saw, when you were talking about our altcoins, we saw Hbar, we saw now XRP at 73 cents. So everything is going our way. And I have to cap it off because we've talked about it a lot this year. Do we attribute this Bitcoin rally, and do we thank Donald Trump for it?
You know, I think that there's just a lot of investor sentiment about what they think is going to happen now that, we've had this election process, and we saw that, as the election night was even going on, even prior to the actual win, you just saw poly markets options for Kamala Harris go down to 10 pennies, 5 pennies, 3 pennies, 1 penny. And kind of everyone just started to see that, this was all coming to a head here. You saw the crypto markets react very positively to that. So I think that, the markets are anticipating a very crypto friendly administration. We also know that GOP won the Senate. That the House is looking very promising here. Here's what I will say is that we won't have any excuses from Donald Trump now, because we're most likely going to have a fully GOP stacked government for the most part. So there's nobody that's going to be able to say, oh, well, he just didn't have the people in place, didn't have the tools. He's got all the tools now, right? So now it comes down to, is Donald Trump going to create that framework and get it through? Is he on January 21st going to keep his word and fire Gary Gensler? Supreme Court has not ruled if that's actually legal or not, but that's a big promise he made to you guys. He promised us as a crypto community. So as an investor, as somebody who didn't even cast a vote this cycle, love to see the markets reacting so positively to this and anticipating very strong leadership from incoming GOP. Anything that's different than what we've seen over the last 4 years, which included, and I'll be very overt about that, Joe Biden swatting down some very important infrastructure bills that was relating to helping crypto, right? So we can see a very stark difference, whether it's going to come to fruition or not, of, hey, you guys saw what happened in the last 4 years. Do you guys just want something different? Yeah, 100%, right? So I think the markets are very optimistic about that. We know that the Fed is still on a cutting race here, so that we're still going to be kind of moving into that that economic policy, again, you guys see how that's very interesting that the Fed basically started cutting right before the election. So yeah, we can attribute it all to that, but we can also see a culmination of things that kind of led up into this, and then kind of everyone feeling good about what could happen with the incoming economy, right? Of course, corporate tax cuts and all these other things that are being promised. That, of course, gets people excited as well. So, do I want to jump up and down and thank Donald Trump personally? I don't think so. I think this is, again, still market participants speculating, right, of what they think is going to potentially happen. So I'd love to see it continue. I'm glad to see the markets are reacting nicely to this, and I want to see more of it. That's for sure.
Matty, he absolutely will take credit for it. He will take credit for Bitcoin almost touching 90,000 per Bitcoin. So he's going to take credit for it. Whether or not that's true, I don't really think so. The rhetoric, in this last couple of months, the whole crypto community really rallying around him. And I've been just skeptical. I don't want to be part of a team because I have my own ideas, and I don't think neither of them support those ideas directly, and that's why we've seen Donald Trump kind of lean more to the center as the year kind of goes on. So it's like, whatever your political beliefs here, I do think the rhetoric has definitely propelled Bitcoin higher. And that's why I said Matty was texting me, and I was just thinking, like, this is probably only going to be short term, right? You see that quick impulse, just like we saw with XRP price falling, SEC, the Ripple ruling about XRP. So I thought it was going to be like just quick impulse and we'll be back down. But no, we just want to continue higher. So team, if you want to be in the know and if you want to get truth and real data, you can only get it at CryptoCharged because we're not going to feed you BS. I know we're not a political show, even though it just sounded like it for a couple minutes there. But we are here talking about crypto every single week on these shows, but we talk about crypto on the website. So you have to become a CryptoCharged member. Click the pin link down below and use the code. What code should they use, Matty?
If you guys want 50% off and a 30-day free trial, you guys want to use code YouTube when you check out. So again, that's, after you guys do the 30 days, that's when you get charged that 50% if you guys could want to continue. But you don't get any of that. You're going to pay full price, and you're only going to get a 7-day free trial if you don't use code YouTube. So make sure you guys use it at checkout so you guys get to take full advantage of that trial as well as the discounted pricing if you guys do want to sign up. It is only $50 a month with the discount or $4.99 for the year. You do save about $90 by going with the year. Again, 30 days free trial comes with either, so you guys have an opportunity to check out the plans. Good for you.
Team, let's get into the questions here. Let's start with Billy Smith. Are you still buying Hbar? Point blank, Matty.
Yeah, definitely am. I actually just posted on X on the 11th. We actually could take a look at the tweet here. We reposted on the CryptoCharged Twitter, putting my money where my mouth is and buying sub 1 penny Casper. DCA is split evenly right now between Hbar, Algorand, API 3, and Casper. So again, you guys can kind of see that stuff there. This is something that we constantly talk about in the Discord. If there's any major changes to my DCA or how I'm approaching or if I'm taking any trims, that's something that we post immediately in the Discord. Everyone gets a tag with @CryptoCharged members, and that's information you guys get. I gave you guys this as a gimme just to kind of show you guys how I was allocating. Definitely a good data to make sure that I had some Hbar in the mix, after seeing a 25+% pump up to the 50-week moving average here on Hbar. But yeah, I'm absolutely buying Hbar. And now that we're talking about it, I can't help but show you guys the chart here and just kind of show you what's happening overall on the Hbar chart. And this is why I continuously bring to you guys, hey, buy the accumulation zones. It's the easiest zone to buy. I know that everyone wants to chase that faster horse, and I know which horse is going to go fast. John Appleseed says by tomorrow it's going up 40%. That's absolute nonsense, right? Like, if all you have to do is look at where we have key support on a chart and then set a tolerance for yourself and buy that range. Like, once we're out of that range, then you don't have to be so, particular about where you want to, get out because you have a really good average. So we can see we broke it over the top of accumulation here at 5.8 cents. Even we've busted over kind of like this 6.6 area. We've actually wicked back a little bit here, but we also reached out to the 50-week moving average. We had a nice little pop here over the 50-day and 100-day moving average. So our short-term MAs have been obliterated. We've got the 50-week getting tagged up there, and you got the 200-week right around 13 cents. So this is the exact kind of thing you want to see at the bottom of a market, right? You start to see all these zones continue to show sensitivity and starting to see those follow through moves here. So definitely picking up some more Hbar here. I probably will take my foot off the gas here once we kind of break over that 7.7 cent region. I'm going to reallocate to other things just so I have, I can focus on things, have a higher average or things I want to be a little bit more effective with. But yeah, my Hbar DCA has been on for a while, and CryptoCharged members got that notification when I decided to split my DCA 3 ways. It was actually when we had that Casper capitulation start that I told you guys, hey, DCA is being split like this, API 3, Algo, and Hbar. So my DCA was actually 1/3 Hbar for almost 2 weeks there. You guys would have had that information earlier on if you guys were a CryptoCharged member.
It sucks because we're never going to be able to talk about Zcash on this show because no one's interested. But Zcash is one of my best performers, by the way.
It's ripping out here right now. I'm sorry you guys are allergic to making money. Let us know you guys want to hear about Zcash. We'll show you guys how good the chart looks.
Bob Stone 4488 says, "Do you guys agree that the timing of the crypto markets uptrend and the release of Casper 2.0 will give Casper a real shot at hitting $2?"
I don't think that Casper 2.0 specifically is going to determine if Casper hits $2 this cycle or not. Do I think it's interesting timing that we're probably going to get a release of 2.0 here, probably as the altcoin market continues to break out? Yeah, I think it's interesting timing, but I don't think it's going to propel it forward. So what we saw with Casper is we saw a lot of that capitulative style selling, that capitulation selling from retail. Again, you guys dumping on each other. Casper Labs didn't dump on you. You dumped on each other. But we saw a resurgence in price. And this is ahead of any news. This is ahead of anything else from a fundamental basis. Just the exhaustion of sellers being enough interest under a $100 million market cap and seeing a nice reversal. We actually saw a 50% pop in a single day. Then, of course, we pulled back a little bit here. We're seeing a little consolidation. But we've seen a lot of that panic selling stop. And I actually did mention this on the show a couple weeks ago. I mentioned this to our members many times. I was like, guys, I know this is hard to watch, but like by the time you guys get undelegated, most of the capitulation selling is most likely going to be done. And that ended up being the case. It was only like 3 or 4 days of you guys just dumping on each other because you guys don't know how to hone your emotions. We've recovered a lot of that capitulation. We're now trying to build a little bit of a floor of support here. I think we can get back above that 1.2, 1.5 penny zone very quickly. Again, once we retrieve the really big pocket, that 2.5 to 3 cent region, I don't think you guys understand how much rocket fuel is sitting there, right? Like we had 700 days of actual volume trading on multiple exchanges in that 2.5 to 3 cent pocket. If we can reclaim that pocket, 10, 25, 35, 50 cents, $1, $1.36 is very much on the table, especially when you have a group of investors that don't remember anything that's happened previously. They don't remember about network outage. They don't remember about people panic selling because a company decided to not build on the network, right? And you're going to have people who are just speculating on price and they're like, hey, you hear about Casper? It's up 50% today. Yeah, I'm going to buy some, right? It's those liquidity pockets that we start to hunt down. So those are going to be the things that I look for here on Casper. Again, I don't think that 2.0 specifically will push price forward, but it is a net positive thing for long-term holders, right? So if you're like, hey, I want to hold 5, 10, 15, 20% of my Casper long-term, yeah, that is something that you want to see implemented to have conviction that this is a good long-term play.
Panhandler 43 says, what are your guys' thoughts about old coins now?
I guess if we're talking about old coins, let's talk about probably like cycle 1 coins. So like 2013 through 2018, I guess those are considered old coins, which is kind of funny to me now that when people mention that, because I'm like, wow, crypto moves that fast that you guys think that something that was created in 2017 is like old tech now, old garbage. It's always crazy to me. But you look at XRP, which is breaking out nicely today. We were touching 73 cents earlier today. Saw Hbar breaking out again. Hbar, older coin. XLM, which mirrors XRP price very closely, breaking very nicely. Bitcoin Cash was actually one of the first breakers ahead of Bitcoin last year in 2023, and it's actually seen some really beautiful higher highs and higher lows established there. I think we've seen a lot of obviously Zcash doing well, defending those lows, seeing now a break over that $40 mark, kind of trying to lock in some backtest now. I think we've seen a lot of the older coins start to pick up speed here, and even in the last cycle, there was a lot of people who didn't know the difference between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. And they're like, oh, ETC must be like a micro position, right? Like maybe it's 1/10 of an Ethereum or something, right? So there's people who bought into that, it just went really crazy one day, but Ethereum wasn't doing, anything super crazy. Just Ethereum Classic decided to break like 2x, 3x last cycle. And I think that a lot of the older coins can really surprise people. And people always wonder, where does that volume come from? Guys, remember, market makers and institutional traders are what drive this market, right? The rest of us are just riding the wave. A lot of us will be exit liquidity for these individuals, but those moves come out of nowhere because you and I are not making those moves happen, right? So I want you guys to be aware of that. A lot of these old coins that people have talked shit about are starting to show signs of life. And I think that once we start to get back to those conviction zones where everyone's like, yeah, this looks like a great price, that risk to reward's gone, right? You're getting maybe a 2 or 3x out of this by trying to, trade some higher lows, which again, not to poo-poo on, but now you're having to be more tactical with it. You don't get the opportunity to accumulate and then have all this flexibility of I'm going to trim some here, and guess what? I'm going to hold some to the target 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? Like you don't have those flexibilities when you're having to trade specifically those higher lows. So I'm very glad that I bought a lot of these older coins at the lows, and really happy with those positions now. I think they're only going to get better, and I will be doing rotations, right? Some of these old coins are going to be up 10, 15x, and I'm going to look to see what else is in the market that's still underappreciated, and I'm going to start to pack some of those those profits in there. So, check us out at CryptoCharged, guys. We're going to get really, really exciting over here in these coming months in the Discord. I know it's been absolutely popping the last couple of days, and it's been almost a bit to keep up with, starting at 6 a.m. and it's almost 2 p.m. now. And I've basically been in the Discord all day. So I'm excited to, ride this out with you guys, do some leverage trading in there, and take advantage of some of these opportunities because of these old coins that we have.
Let's do one more here. Matthew Man 8 says, what is your Bitcoin prediction price? Have you ever talked about this on, not on YouTube though, Matt, but
maybe not on YouTube, but I will toot my own horn here because I've got the receipts, and you guys can go back and you can roll back to our videos, right? You can roll back to like the last 3 weeks of videos, I'm going to say, and you can look to see what I've talked about this range. Like, I've disgustingly detailed this range. If you guys are a CryptoCharged member, you guys have seen this Monday through Friday. You're like, yeah, Matt, sorry, tired of seeing the range. But I just continue to talk about, especially, like let's say from like late September, October forward, how we started to reclaim higher highs and higher lows. All I did was slap a classic fib on here from the March high and the August low. And I was like, hey, 89K is like that next 1.618. That's where that next impulse is going to kick out towards. So you guys can see that we did a lot of great climbing in here. We defended that 50 week, like I mentioned multiple times. I showed this as bullish signs. I showed the break over the 50 and the 100-day moving average. All of this stair stepping in here, just beautiful behavior that doesn't create massive imbalances. And then wham, out of nowhere, you get like a week and some change of price action that takes us perfectly to the 1.618, which is right around $89,000, 89,400. I think we cracked just beyond that, but we closed that first daily candle below there. So that was my short-term target. Now, again, some of my longer-term targets for Bitcoin, and again, I'm not a Bitcoin holder, but that doesn't mean that I don't create exit plans for my team and I don't value other important things like Bitcoin. I'm just a little bit more interested in the volatility associated with altcoins. We're looking around 100K, 102K as that target. One is the 1.618, upwards of maybe like 209 to 240. So, we want to just be really round about the numbers. Let's say 100 to 250K just on average. Now, again, what I would recommend to most of our team is start layering out, right? A lot of our team did pick up a lot of sub 25K Bitcoin, a lot of sub 30K Bitcoin. So, starting to maybe realize some of those profits, right, at the 1.618 and the 2.618 and looking for other opportunities might be the move, right? Because you look at the upside here to that next target, it's about a 15% increase. You look to the 2.618, about a 75% increase. If Bitcoin gets to $250,000, you're looking at about a 170% increase, which again is a great return. But is it the same reward looking at the fact that Bitcoin dominance is so high right now, looking at the altcoins doing what everyone said they weren't going to do, starting to show massive breakout moves without even a proper easing in Bitcoin dominance? I can't look at you guys in the eyes and tell you to buy Bitcoin at $88,000 right now because the reward is $250. Who gives a shit about the actual price of the asset, right? ROI is ROI is ROI. Risk to reward is risk to reward. And to me, it doesn't matter, right? So, and what if I'm super wrong here? What if we go to $444,000 per Bitcoin this cycle and everything gets way crazier than I thought? We're talking about just under a 4X here. I can't look at a single altcoin opportunity right now that doesn't even come close to making a new all-time high that absolutely smashes the hell out of a 4X. So again, if part of your strategy is like, hey, I just want to catch every Bitcoin pump and, I'm going to do it this way and I'm going to, I'm going to ride it to $500,000. Great, go for it. But just remember that the price itself is completely irrelevant to the amount of success that you have in this market, right? Volatility is your friend. Smaller market caps are your friend. And I'm not telling you guys to go chase the next DGEM microcap, but have some blend in your portfolio, right? Give yourself a fighting chance to actually extract the most amount of money from this market. The next best time to buy Bitcoin is in the bear market, right? That's a good time to buy it, right? Right. So that's what it comes down to. So if we're able to buy in the bear market, right, and we know where those higher lows are mostly going to come in. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're probably going to see these previous all-time highs retested here. We're probably going to see 53 to 69K again in the future. And people are going to tell me in the next bull market, Matt, that's never going to happen. You're an absolute moron. How could we ever come back here? So much institutional money is here, Matt. How could that possibly happen? It happened this last cycle as well, but everyone told me the institutions were here. We basically came, scraped the top of those accumulation zones and went higher. So if you're telling yourself, hey, I need to get more Bitcoin, I didn't do it this time around, wait for the next bear market and then make that whatever percentage exposure for you is 20%, 30%, 40%, still have an altcoin portfolio, but then reap the benefits of Bitcoin actually having that leader position and then rotate that into some of your alts. I think at this point, opening a brand new Bitcoin position is the stupidest thing you could possibly do in this market right now.
Matty, they are so not going to listen to you, unfortunately. They're going to buy Bitcoin anyways, and they're going to have to feel it for themselves because, hey, listen, the rhetoric when you get from someone like Michael Saylor, and, which has bought it, he basically just fired his technical analyst and just buys at any price, And that seems cool to people, but that does not make sense for you right now because you're gonna have to go sit for a couple years in a bear market and really feel that. And that's not a good feeling. I got to watch other people that went underwater in assets. I was a person that went underwater in Casper, and guess what? I started buying on the way down. I was trying to catch the bot. I was trying to, DCA continuing lower, and it just kept going lower. So now imagine doing that at this point right now and opening up a Bitcoin position. Man, good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. We'll clown on you in the Discord, but yeah, you just shouldn't do that. Matty, that was a lot of wisdom right there, and I hope people take the things that you just said and they take it to heart. I know another thing that is probably going to get crazy for people, and I've been watching it. I've kind of, backed away a little bit from Twitter and whatever, but it's euphoria. People are going to get so euphoric. I can already feel it. People are on Twitter like, I have to set my phone down and just step away and go do something else because the euphoria on Twitter has started. It has really started. It started back in February this year when we thought we were going to make conviction moves higher on Bitcoin, and then we were in a channel for the following months, for the next 6-8 months. And now that we've broken out of it, Matt, the euphoria is at an all-time high, right? And so, team, you're going to get lost in the sauce. I saw it happen to everyone last cycle when I wasn't even really seriously investing into crypto. So, team, you need a team. You need a community, and you can only really get that at CryptoCharged. There's no community in the comment section. We only respond to you there in the comment section on our YouTube videos, but there's no real back and forth. We can't do that. So you need to join up. Matty, do you want to give them a flash of the Discord? Is that too much here, or do you want to do a little show off?
So in the Discord, obviously we got Gen Chat. Gen Chat has been popping off all day long. We've been talking a lot about charts. Some people are newer to the Discord here, kind of showing people, how to manage some of their existing positions. Even looking at Bitcoin here on a 15-minute time frame this morning before we got that little bit of a breakout higher. Talking about some of our winners out here that we were really, dialing into. We obviously have a little meme chat in here, people posting here what they're buying, what they're getting into. We even have some fun channels in here. We know that we got a lot of car enthusiasts in here. We got the DJ and Lair if you guys do want to talk meme coins, even though it's not something we endorse. We got chart feedback. So if you guys want to post your charts in here, we'll give you guys feedback on it, give you guys a little bit of coaching in there. We got the day trading channel for people who want to get cheeky with it. Chart requests. So every Friday, you guys know we do technical tune-up Friday. Any point during the week, you guys drop a ticker in here. It's going to get featured on Friday's show. So big benefit there. Tech support if you guys are, needing some help with exchanges or whatever. And of course, a bunch of static channels here for announcements and shows and things like that, right? And again, the community is always going to be based on you guys. It's always going to be based on what you guys are focused on for the day. I'm always in here helping you guys Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I'm in there as well, but I try to spend a little bit of time away from the screens. But this is a big part of our program, right? We do our shows Monday through Friday. We've got our coin library. We have a ton of learning material on the website, but this is where it all comes together for you guys. And again, I don't think that there's any other program out there, because I've done a lot of research, that offers all of this at $49 a month with code YouTube. So I would definitely check us out, guys. You get 30 days free. It's literally no risk to you to at least come see what the Discord's all about, what the live shows are all about, and see if it really vibes with you, right? See if it's a good fit.
Love that, Matty. Team, we're going to come hot next week. We have to with After Hours at 7 p.m. on Monday. We're going to come hot. We're going to get the best news down below. If you're looking at some news that needs to be discussed in the show, drop it down below in the comment section, and we might cover it. But it's going to be, from here on out, Matt, we got to be on point. So, team, we're going to be serious. We're going to show up. We're going to bring the news, and we're going to break it down for you guys. So make sure you subscribe. But until next week, team, we'll see you later. Bye.